we are starting today renal system, and the first topic is polycystic kidney, which is important from exam point of view. And it is a short, means very small lecture, and you will be able to remember it if you just concentrate yourself. So in polycystic kidney, there are two types we are supposed to know: adult type and childhood type. And you are supposed to know their morphology and their complication. Now, adult and childhood means one is manifested in adulthood, not in during childhood. It remains asymptomatic, but when patient reaches 30 or 40 years, then it will manifest as a kidney disease. And in childhood, it will maybe in the utero, or it may be just after birth or during childhood. So that is the difference, as the name suggests. And adult one is autosomal dominant inheritance. And PKD1, polycystic kidney disease 1, PKD1 and 2. Those are the genes which are responsible for mutation, and they produce this polycystic kidney in adult. In childhood, it is autosomal recessive, and the gene is PKSD1, and mutation of that will produce polycystic kidney in the childhood. Adult one is also called autosomal dominant polycystic kidney. Childhood one is called autosomal recessive polycystic kidney. So what is the classification of polycystic disease of the kidney? Most important is polycystic kidney disease, which we are today going to be talking about. Of that, autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease or adult polycystic, both are same. An autosomal recessive polycystic kidney disease or childhood polycystic kidney disease. So that is, these are two other, these medullary cystic disease, dialysis associated cystic disease, simple renal cyst, and cystic renal dysplasia. These are not in our syllabus, but I am telling you here because these are different conditions which give rise to polycystic kidney. That is a polycystic kidney disease, adult and childhood, medullary cystic disease, dialysis associated cystic disease, and renal simple cyst, that is innocuous, and cystic renal dysplasia. Now we'll go to simple renal cyst. Just it is just for a record. It is not of any significance. It is innocuous lesion, maybe single or multiple. It is translucent, means it is not turbid. You can see through it, and it has got no clinical significance. And occasionally it may cause pain and hemorrhage. Otherwise, it is of no importance. This is a cyst. These 1, 2, 3. These are on the surface of the cyst. These are simple cysts. They have got no clinical significance. Now we go to the main our topic, that is adult polycystic kidney disease, or other name is autosomal dominant polycystic disease. And as I told you, these are genetic disorders. So they are hereditary disorder characterized by multiple expanding cysts of both kidney, and that those multiple cysts destroy the renal tissue, that is renal parenchyma, and lead to what? Renal failure. Kidney fails. So this is one of the very important causes of acute and chronic renal failure. Of course, in adult it is a chronic, in children it may be acute renal failure. Now, incidence of adult polycystic kidney, autosomal dominant polycystic kidney is 1 in 500 to 1 in 1000. In this, the kidney is bilaterally enlarged, and it may be 3 to 4 kg in weight, 3,000 grams, more than that. Symptoms appear in adult life because it is adult polycystic. Renal failure occurs 5 to 10 years afterwards. And out of all the dialysis and transplant patients, 10% are due to adult polycystic kidney disease or autosomal dominant polycystic kidney. Now inheritance is, as I told you, it is autosomal dominant. And what are the genes? In 90% cases, it is defective gene, that is PKD1, that is polycystic kidney disease 1. It is on the chromosome 16. And what protein it encodes the protein polycystin 1. It is easier to remember. Polycystic disease 1 is the gene and it produces polycystin protein. In 10% cases, it is PKD2 gene, which is present on chromosome 4, and it encodes protein polycystin 2. So it is very polycystin 1 protein and polycystin 2 protein. And the gene is PKD1 and PKD2, polycystic kidney D1 and D2. Despite the autosomal dominant inheritance, the manifestation of disease requires mutation in both. Generally, you know that autosomal, any dominant gene, one mutation will cause symptoms. Here, both have to be, in spite of being a autosomal dominant, both genes have to be mutated to cause the disease. Now, this is the mechanism of production of, so that was etiology, how the adult polycystic kidney disease, that is pathogenesis. Mutation is polycystin 1 and 2. Fibrocystin will come to the next one, that is recessive. There, the gene involved, protein involved is fibrocystin. Both mechanism of formation of cyst is same. So that's why it is shown here. So because of mutation in these genes, polycystin 1 or 2 or fibrocystin gene, there it is there is altered mechanosensor in tubular cilia. Actually, the cilia in the tubular cells they have got mechanical sensor. So because of mutation, this sensor mechanism is damaged. There is also another mechanism, that is increased calcium flux. That is calcium. Lot of calcium is excreted in the urine. Lot of calcium comes out of the cell. Now these two mechanisms, they lead to altered tubular epithelial growth and differentiation. And that will lead to abnormal extracellular matrix, cell proliferation, fluid secretion. And all these three mechanisms will lead to formation of cyst, which later on lead to interstitial fibrosis and inflammation and glomerular vascular damage. So this is how adult polycystic kidney disease is produced. Of course, this is a diagrammatic representation. It is not so simple, but you should remember it that there is a mutation in polycystin 1 or 2 gene, or what is the PKD1 and 2, the polycystin protein. Similarly, PKHD is the in recessive, that protein is fibrocystin. So both lead to altered mechanosensation, that is mechanical sensor of the tubular cilia. The cilia is on the present on the surface of the tubular epithelium, and there is an increased amount of calcium secretion. And both these will lead to abnormal tubular epithelial growth and differentiation, and that will lead to abnormal extracellular matrix production, cell proliferation and fluid secretion, and finally cyst formation. So this is a mechanism for both autosomal recessive as well as autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease, pathogenesis, mechanism of formation of cyst. So this you should know. Only thing difference is this, that genes are different. Now genetics and pathogenesis, both polycystin 1 and polycystin proteins are localized to the primary cilium that projects into tubular lumen from the apical surface of tubular cells and acts as a mechanical sensor, as I told you. And mutation of all these will lead to abnormal tubular growth and differentiation. Same thing. Now coming to morphology. Adult polycystic kidney disease morphology gross. Kidney are usually bilaterally enlarged up to, as I told, more than 3 kg or 3000 gram. External surface appears to be composed solely of mass of cyst up to 3 to 4 centimeter in diameter, and there is no intervening parenchyma. So surface of the kidney is irregular because of formation of multiple cysts, and these cysts can be of large size, that is 3 to 4 centimeter in diameter, and there is a intervening parenchyma is very low. Then cysts, these cysts have got fluid which may be clear, it may be turbid, it may be hemorrhagic. Renal pelvis and calyces are distorted because of this cyst, and these cysts do not communicate with the pelvis. This is important because when you try to differentiate this polycystic kidney with the hydronephrosis, then there the dilated calyces will communicate with the pelvis. Here they will not, because each cyst is independent. So this is the morphology, gross morphology. You can see this is a cut section. These are the cysts, and these are the two kidneys. See multiple cysts on the surface, irregular surface, and these are the cysts in the. Now microscopic examination, normal functioning nephron dispersed between the cysts. You can see the glomeruli and tubules in between the cysts. The cysts arise from the tubules, that is proximal and convoluted distal tubules throughout the nephron. And that's why they have got a variable lining epithelium. If it is proximal, arising from proximal tubule, then it will be this columnar ciliated epithelium. And if it is from distal, it is a cuboid epithelium. Bowman capsule occasionally involved in the cyst formation. Bowman capsule occasionally involved in the cyst formation, and glomerular tuft is seen within cyst spaces. And pressure of expanding cyst leads to ischemic atrophy of intervening renal substance. What does it mean? That these cysts may press on the vascular component of the kidney, blood vessels, that is afferent and efferent arterioles, and they can cause ischemic atrophy of the renal substance. That will lead to formation of fibrosis. So under microscopic examination, you will see between the cysts you may see normal nephron, that is glomeruli and some tubules. And since the cysts arise from the tubules, its lining epithelium is different. Whether it is arising from proximal or distal, there will be different epithelium. Bowman capsule may be sometimes seen inside the cyst, and pressure by the cyst will lead to atrophy of the renal parenchyma because of ischemia. This will also lead to hypertension. See, these are the multiple cysts you can see in the kidney. These are spared glomeruli you can see outside. And because this involves only tubule, this involves only tubular epithelium, I mean tubules. So you can see here, these are remaining glomeruli, and these are other glomeruli at the periphery. Now this is an adult polycystic kidney or autosomal dominant polycystic kidney. Now we go to the recessive childhood. Recessive child, autosomal recessive polycystic kidney, a childhood polycystic kidney disease. It is rare. It is transmitted as the autosomal recessive trait. Mutation in chromosome 6. It is always that is also bilateral. This is age of presentation is in the perinatal area, neonatal area, or infant stage. That is mainly in the childhood. That's why it is called childhood. And frequently results from death from renal failure early in childhood. So both are finally lead to the renal failure. Now, what is the genetics of the polycystic, this childhood polycystic kidney? Mutation and PKHD. What is the meaning of HD? I couldn't find anywhere. Polycystic kidney HD disease. HD disease. H means what? One disease which maps to the chromosome region 6. And this PKHD1 gene. Yes. Polycystic PKHD means polycystic kidney and hepatic disease, because along with polycystic kidney disease, you will find also cysts in other organ, liver, kidney, of course, there, brain, then spleen. So you can find this cyst in other organ also. So this PKHD means polycystic kidney Hepatic disease 1. This is the gene. And what it produces? It produces a large protein. Largest protein is muscle dystrophin. This is also equally large. That is called fibrocystine. That protein is called or polydactin. So it is combined. It is called FPC. Fibrocystine, polydactin, C something else. So that is a protein. You remember only fibrocystine. And this is also localized to the primary cilium of tubular cells. The only difference is that they are localized in the collecting duct cell. So here involvement of the collecting duct is there, not the proximal and distal convolutional duct. The function of fibrocystine is unknown. This may act as a, there it was working as a sensor also, here it is surface receptor with role in collecting duct and biliary differentiation. The role of this fibrocystine is surface receptor function as well as that sensor type on the collecting duct as well as bile duct. That's why this is involves collecting duct of the kidney as well as bile duct of the or bile ductules of the liver. So this is the autosomal recessive fibrocystine, that is a PKSD1 gene, and the protein is fibrocystine that acts as a receptor on the surface of collecting duct and biliary differentiation. Now morphology, gross kidney are enlarged, but they have got a smooth external surface. Means the cysts are not on the surface projecting like in the adult type. On cut section, you can see numerous small cysts in cortex and medulla. And the kidney looks like a sponge. So it is called a sponge-like appearance of the kidney in autosomal recessive. This is different from that. So surface of the kidney is smooth, and on cut surface you will find numerous cysts in the medulla and cortex, giving a kidney a sponge-like appearance. Now, another characteristic of this cyst is they are dilated, elongated channels at right angles to the cortical surfaces. So they are arranged parallel. These cysts, they are not round, they are elongated and they are parallel to the at right angles to the surface of kidney. Not parallel, they all are parallel but at right angles to the surface of kidney, and they completely replace the medulla and cortex because here collecting ducts are involved. Collecting ducts are involved. These are the, this is autopsy, this is liver, and these are those kidneys. See, surface is smooth. These are the enlarged kidney, and this is a autosomal recessive polycystic kidney or childhood polycystic kidney disease. See, cut surface, surface is smooth. These are the cysts which are elongated and they are present in the cortex and medulla, and they are elongated. Now, childhood polycystic kidney disease, microscopic examination, these cysts are cylindrical, as I told you, elongated, and they are less commonly sacral, round and all that, and they involve the collecting duct, collecting tubules. And cysts have a uniform lining of cuboidal cells because they are arising from collecting tubules, and that is because their origin is probably they are lined by the cuboidal cells. So microscopic appearance is they are cylindrical, less commonly circular. They involve collecting tubules and collecting ducts, and they are lined by the cuboidal cells. So this is microscopic appearance. Gross appearance, I told you, surface smooth and cut surface is sponge-like, and the cysts are parallel to the surface of the kidney. Now, this is under microscope. You can see these are the cylindrical, and this is the surface, so they are at right angle. So this is a difference you can see from this and that adult. Now, what are the complications of the polycystic kidney disease? Most common, and the last 2 slides are there, that is complications. And as I told you, renal failure and renal insufficiency. This is the most common. complication of both autosomal dominant and recessive. Next is hypertension. All these patients are hypertensive, and this is because of pressure of the cyst on blood vessels, which leads to the ischemia and which activates the renin-angiotensin system. Angiotensin causes the hypertension. The second is inability to concentrate urine activates vasopressin secretion. So both these things, that is renin-angiotensin as well as vasopressin, lead to the hypertension in the patient. Third complication is kidney stone. Fourth is urinary tract infection. Fifth is hematuria. Then renal carcinoma. So these are the complications of polycystic kidney disease. Other complication are, as I told you, these proteins, that is fibrocystin and polycystin, they are also present on the other epithelial surface like bile duct epithelial surface, arachnoid epithelial surface. So there are multiple cysts in other organs, that is extrarenal cysts. So there will be associated hepatic cyst, there may be splenic cyst, there may be pancreatic cyst, there may be berry aneurysm in the brain, intestinal diverticula will be there, and hernia. So these are the other complication, that is extrarenal complication, that is hepatic cyst, splenic cyst, pancreatic cyst, Berry's aneurysm, intestinal diverticuli, and hernia. So this is the last slide. So you should know what are the complications. Most important, at least you should know that renal failure and hypertension. Other, of course, are there. That is hematuria is a symptom, not a complication. But this stone formation, multiple kidney stone formation, then UTI, urinary tract infection, and renal carcinoma. These are the kidney local complication, and last extrarenal complication is that various types of cyst, hepatic, splenic, pancreatic, berry aneurysm, intestinal diverticula, and hernia. So we have covered the polycystic kidney disease. Both are hereditary. One is in childhood, one is adult, one is recessive, one is dominant. Both are autosomal. In one, gene is involved, polycystin PKD1 and PKD2, that is 80% and 20%, and protein involved is polycystin 1 and 2. In the autosomal recessive, that gene is PKSD, that is polycystic kidney liver hepatic kidney hepatic disease gene, PKSD gene, and protein involved is fibrocystin polydactin, and both mechanism is same, production of cysts, that is that these proteins are located at the cilia of the epithelial cells, and their function is sensor mechanism. And if they are mutated, this sensor doesn't act, so there is a poor development of these epithelial cells, so they form cysts. And that chart diagrammatically I showed you, there is a calcium abnormality, there is a this mechanosensor abnormality, and that leads to abnormal development of this epithelium, leading to formation of cyst. And that will lead to inflammation, damage of parenchyma, fibrosis. The other side is the pus. Now, gross, I told you, in adult, kidney is markedly enlarged. Weight may go up to 3 kg and 4 kg. And there are multiple cysts on the surface of the kidney, and there are varying sizes. These cysts contain clear, turbid or hemorrhagic fluid, and they do not communicate with the pelvis or calyces. Under microscope, you will find multiple cysts in the renal parenchyma of varying sizes. The glomeruli and tubules in between may be normal, some normal, and there may be sometimes glomeruli inside the tubule, and that is a microscopic examination. In the other one, that is in autosomal, These cysts are cylindrical. They are not round, and they are at parallel to the surface of the kidney, and the kidney looks like a sponge. If you cut section and kidney surface is smooth. When you cut open, these cysts are there and the kidney appears as a sponge. Under microscope, you will see these cysts which are cylindrical and they are parallel. And then I talked about complication of the polycystic kidney disease. So that it is simple, but it is important. So I have finished. Have you got any question?